As we all know, craniolateral disc herniations are less frequently encountered as compared to the more common paracentral disc herniations, and they affect the exiting as well as the traversing nerve roots. Many authors, in fact, have expressed their technical difficulties and challenges in accessing this particular area, that is the lumbar hidden zone. So what are the treatment options? A conventional hemilaminectomy may be too destabilizing. A lot of us would approach these from the level above, but that too may result in removal of a large amount of the inferior facet. The more limited approaches, that is the pars fenestration and contralateral approaches, are difficult to perform at higher lumbar levels and they do not allow us access to the disc space. So we suggested a para-UBE approach. So para-UBE is nothing but an adaptation of the Wilsey's approach that we are all familiar with. It provides a direct access to the Camden's triangle without a laminotomy or a flavectomy. We needn't always even visualize the dura and the traversing nerve roots. There is minimal blood loss, and I cannot stress this enough, but there is a great advantage at higher lumbar levels. So the standard portals that we use are one for the scope and one for the instruments, both about 1.5 to 2 centimeters lateral to the center of the pedicle, usually at the tip of the transverse process. And we target this area of the pars that is just below the superior pedicle, and we then identify the lateral edge of the facet joint and confirm our position there, and then gradually make our descent into the foramen. So having done so, we need to be aware of certain anatomical structures that we may encounter, and this video from Dr. Malcolm provides a great demonstration of this anatomy. Here you can see this is a right-sided upmigrated disc in the foramen. We have targeted just below the superior pedicle. You can now see the endoscopic picture. Here you can see now a blood vessel that is being identified. This is the facetal artery which we will be coagulating now. And down below it you can see the medial branch of the dorsal ramus, which appears like a thin structure. Now coming in your view. Once these structures have been removed, we will gain access to the superior transforaminal ligament now. This dense, shiny structure here attaching to the tip of the superior articular process is the superior transforaminal ligament, which we are now resecting. And down below it is the exiting nerve root. You can see the exiting nerve root here. Again, we are using a blunt dissector to mobilize some of the fat in the axilla of the exiting nerve root. And here you can see the disc fragment now coming out. And here you can see the exiting nerve root adequately decompressed and our final position at the C-arm. Again, this is another case of an L3-4 upmigrated disc herniation on the left side. Here you can see we have targeted just below the superior pedicle. Again, we have exposed the exiting nerve root here. And we are using a radiofrequency wand to create some space in the axilla of the exiting nerve root. And now using a specialized 120-degree hook, we are teasing out the first disc fragment. Here you can see the fragment coming out. There's the exiting nerve root there. And just below this tiny fragment here is the traversing nerve root. You can see the exiting nerve root now pulsating. And now the final fragment is coming out. Again, this is another case of an L2-3 upmigrated disc herniation. The patient previously had a L3 to S1 decompression and instrumentation. And here you can see the exiting nerve root identified. You can see the disc fragment now coming out. And that is the exiting nerve root there from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock position. And here you can see we have encountered some bleeding, which we will coagulate later. And now here is the final disc fragment. You can see the disc surface and the posterior vertebral body there. Again, this is another case of a subligamentous disc herniation at L4-5 on the right side. Here you can see we are performing an osteotomy of the superior articular process to make some more space in the axilla of the exiting nerve root. And here you can see we are identifying the fibers of the PLL there and the disc fragment. Now a loose fragment is coming in. Again, now we're using a radio frequency wand to create some more space and then going back in to remove the disc fragment. This is the final fragment now. And here you can see the position of our nerve hook beneath the pedicle towards the midline and all the way up to the disc space. Again, now this is another case of an elderly lady with a right-sided L4-5 upmigrated disc, but this time with instability. So we planned her for a fusion, and here we are decompressing the exiting nerve root. We are removing the upmigrated portion of the disc herniation now. You can see that both the nerve roots are adequately decompressed and the disc space is now prepared, and we are introducing the cage through the same corridor. So in conclusion, I'd like to say that para-UBE is a safe, minimally invasive procedure which provides excellent visualization of the local anatomy, and it is a great option for upmigrated disc herniations at higher levels. Thank you.